while back I saw a video about heating your house for 4 cents an hour, and the person said that you could do this by taking some tea light candles and putting them underneath a clay pot, heating that pot, and then having another pot outside of it. Well, a lot of arguments have gone on about how that works. So I've got some tea light candles, got a big pot, I've got a little pot, got a cap, and a tray to put the candles on. So I'm going to try this out and I'll let you know how it goes. One other part about this is, you can see behind me, I have a 30,000 BTU wood stove. I have another video where I took a an infrared thermometer, and I checked out how hot my wood stove got when I was running it at full blast. So I know what this room that I'm in is going to do if I have 30,000 BTUs coming off of my wood stove. And so I'm going to put this system on top of my wood stove and see how much temperature change I have in the room, and I'm going to use that same infrared thermometer and see what kind of a temperature change these pots do. So that's going to be my test for seeing what happens here. Another part of this whole question is, I watched a video where a person cooked some eggs by putting some tea light candles, directly heating a skillet. And, you know, in order to cook eggs, in order to fry anything, you have to get above 400 degrees. So the candles obviously can put out some pretty serious heat. But I want to see exactly how hot it will get if I trap that heat and use it to power this system. Don't know how far I'm going to get with it, so that's why I'm testing this. So here's my setup. I'm going to turn the laser on, and it's currently 64.7 degrees, and I don't have a fire going, so my wood stove is actually colder. But that pot is 64 degrees, that pot is 65, give or take. I'm going to run for 10 or 15 minutes after I light these up and see what the temperature change is. So off we go. And they don't want to light. Alrighty, see you in a few minutes. And if that changes temperature much, I'll put the big pot on it and see what it does. Bye. I still have the thermometers that I used, but I can't find all of them. So I've got this one in front of the TV, and I've got this one at the other end of the room. Candles are cranking well. I can tell already that I am getting some radiant heat off of this. So the inner pot is warming up. So the outer pot is still, don't need the laser, 65 degrees, give or take. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready for screams. Come on, turn off. Okay. So After 10 minutes, we are at 129, 130. Not bad. So we are getting some increase in temperature, but it's not exactly skyrocketing. So, I'm going to start the timer again. Start. Thank you. And I'm going to put the big pot on, which I need both hands for. And we'll see what it does. I may even put my top thermometer on it. So, give me a bit and we'll see what it looks like. You may be thinking, why do I have the plate inside? Well, I saw another video that explained that, and it is that the heat from the inner pot needs to be trapped, and if you don't put a cap on it, it will just all blow out the top and it won't warm up, and then you won't get any heat transfer at all. So let's see real quick. Turn this on. Give me a little bit. Okay, it's only been going for about a minute, so there's no temperature change yet. We might take a couple of rounds to see what happens. Bye for now. Okay, we have 15 seconds left. Let's grab this. And let me hold this so it doesn't scream so loud and so long. Brace yourself. Okay, so turn it on. What are we getting? Ooh, it's at 83 degrees. Well, that's a temperature increase. And we've got, yeah, it came up a little bit on that. I put it right over the vent, so it's getting all of the heat. But really, I'm not noticing any temperature change at all. I mean, I'm barely getting a little bit of warmth off of this. Let's see what the candles look like. Oh yeah, they're going good. Well, let's see what happens. That's interesting. Another 10 minutes. Alrighty, another 10 minutes have passed. The thermometer is reading over 150, so let's see what this says. Ooh, nice, it's at 102. Okay, so hand over. Yeah, I'm getting some warmth, but it's still moderately mild. I don't think this pot is going to be, I could leave my hand on there. Yeah, we're going to have to see if the pot actually gets enough heat into it to be worth talking about. Oh, and a common thing that was stated was that you're going to have the dust and oils and stuff burn off of these things. Let me tell you, when I light up my wood stove at the end of every summer, I have to open all the doors and windows and fan out the room because it reeks horribly. I mean, it gives me a headache, it makes me sick, it's the whole 9 yards. This, I can't smell a thing yet. I mean, I can smell the candles burning, but that's it. So, unless it goes over 200 degrees, it's probably not going to put out any soot or burned soot or oil, because those don't really burn until 300 or 400 degrees. We'll see. Alrighty, I got a little distracted, so it's been more like 15 minutes. But I'm actually starting to smell this thing. Let's see what the temperature is. 119, 118. Looks like it's being moderately stable. And that, ooh, the output is 200 almost. And it's starting to smell a little bit like it's burning off a little bit of dust or oil. So, I was wrong. But it's nowhere near as bad as the wood stove. Trust me. Surface area, like 1/10. So it ain't going to stink up the room or the house. But it's going to put out a little bit of smell. So we'll see what happens. How the candle's doing. They're getting there. Got that one burning a little bit lower than the others. Wonder what's going on. Oh, off we go for now. Okay, I had a phone call come in, so it's been well over 20 minutes. I started this around 11:30 and it's now about 12:40. I need to leave to something that phone call was about. So let's do a last glimpse at this for a while. We've got 132 on the pot. 130, okay. Depending on where I'm at. 29, 135 in the center. Yeah. And the thermometer up here, the output is about 200 degrees. And yeah, it's warmish. And there's no way this is going to heat a room. Yeah, I can put my hand on this. I can't put my hand on the wood stove when it's running. This does not put out enough BTU to do any serious damage to heating the room. But it's a cute little thing, and if I made it a little more artsy, it'd be fun. Yeah, I'll see what it looks like if I come back before it burns out. Bye. One other little note. I had to replace a candle because this one had a crack in the bottom. Didn't check that before I put it on. That's what happens when you buy stuff at a garage sale. They aren't always in perfect shape. But I now have 4 candles burning, and they're likely to burn for quite a while. So we'll see what it looks like later. See ya. Just to take a quick glance at the thermometers. My HVAC furnace is running, and this really hasn't changed at all. Just taking a quick glance at this thermometer. Camera strap. It's really not changing, and my HVAC is putting a heck of a lot more power into this system than these candles are. One last quick glance before I disappear. Holding pretty steady. Wonder what it'll look like in a while. Need to do this when I have a full day to let it burn out. Anywho, see you later. Well, I proved to myself that 4 candles underneath a couple of pots doesn't do any real damage to anything. It did put out some heat. I can't deny that. But the volume of heat and the ability to actually warm more than a couple of small square feet. You know, you might use this in a tent while you're camping and get more benefit out of it because you can just put your hands on top of it. Not doing anything. So I decided to see what would happen if I increased the number of candles. So I took that little tray and I totally loaded it up. I'm going to run that for a while and see what it does. I don't know that I'll warm a room with it, but it'll at least put out some heat. And it'll be more than 4 candles could ever possibly do. So, here goes. I wanted to see what would happen if I maxed out my candle count. And I know I'm not going to get a lot of BTU, so I'm not going to bother with that. But I wanted to see how far this would go if I really maxed out on the candles. So let me see if they will stay lit. That front one is not looking healthy. And I'm going to come back in a few minutes and check it out. But first, let's turn on focus. There we go. 77. I've got another heater going. With those candles right there, who knows. Anyhow, I'll come back and check it in a bit. The time right now is 3:40. Okay, it's been a little over 10-12 minutes. The top is already putting out over 150. Let's see what this does. That's not bad. And it's climbing. It's impressive. Wonder how far it'll go. I may actually get some real heat out of this. Another 10 or 12 minutes. And the candles are cooking pretty darn good. Got them underneath the small pot. Let's see what the... Ooh, we're getting some serious temperature here. It's still climbing. That's impressive. Let's see what the output is. We're already at 200. I'm gonna put my hand on it. It's not uncomfortable. That's actually putting out some interesting amount of heat. Cool. We'll see. Okay. So, we have all 7 candles going. Doing pretty good. Power this up. And doing 174. I'll say that's probably all we're going to get out of it. Let's see what the top is. 250. And it's to the point that I don't want to leave my hand on it. So it's quite warm, putting out some good heat, but it's just not enough volume of heat to really change the temperature in the room. The convection current going through it is creating quite a bit, but we'll see. Anyhow, so it's now about 5 o'clock, and I've been running this for a little over an hour and a half, or just under an hour and a half, and it is stabilized at a much higher temperature, but it's still just a bunch of candles, and it's not really going to put out enough BTU to actually heat a large space. It's fun, it's neat for what it is, but I think I'll just let this burn out and stop playing with it. So, neat idea, and it's pretty for what it is, but totally useless for actually heating a large space. Thanks for watching.